Hello, everyone. This is a Yank on the Footy, and I am going to be sitting down to chat with my mate Myk Aussie, and we're going to be discussing all things round 16 in the AFL. Mate, how are you doing today, sir?
Good, mate. And best thing about this week was Friday night, 9 p.m. my time. TSN had Crows and Demons on live. So that
Hmm.
was fantastic. Had a
Yeah,
couple of beers after work and then come home and watch the game.
and it was a good outcome for your club as well. So,
Yeah, but they were up at every change. It wasn't until the last 7 minutes that they really got in front. So
yeah.
Demons pushed them
Yeah, oh,
so
yeah. I
that
mean,
Crows can brag about the win, but it was only the last 5 or 7 minutes.
yeah, I mean the D's are D's are very much a solid club this year. I mean, I underestimated them, and I'm glad to hear a lot of other people that have basically done their mea culpas and said, yeah, we didn't give the D's much opportunity this year, and they may scuffle a little bit now that Myachek's going to be out for whatever length of time he's going to be out, and with his technically a broken neck. So
Wow.
I don't know if we'll see him back again this year, but I mean they've been a refreshing surprise for the league, and Stephen King probably leads us to believe that of all the different coaching openings, probably somebody's going to come in and poach another assistant coach out of Geelong. Well, I mean, Nathan Buckley is going to be one of them eventually, but yeah,
Yeah.
who knows? Yep. So, yeah, I tossed something at you this week, and we kind of addressed this. I think we talked about this last week when we were chatting, and we were discussing who, if we were to put together a club, and we did this earlier this year, where I said you could like pick one forward, one mid, and one defender to bring into your new side. Like you were going to be in charge of the Tasmanian club, and you're going to guarantee to get these guys. Well, we decided this time, let's just go ahead and do it with the entire like forward line of one club, the entire midfield, and then the entire group of defenders for another club there. So I want to, yeah, we'll kind of go back and forth and see what we've got for forwards, and then for the mids, and then for the defenders, and we'll see if we've got any similarities there. Because I don't have your list, and I don't think you've seen, because I know your list is not on the doc I shared, and I just put mine on the list a few minutes ago.
All right,
So
what do you want to start with?
how about we start with the forwards there? So where are you going?
All right, well, couple of possibilities. Actually, I got four teams listed,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll quickly mention Cats, Swans, and Hawks. But I decided on the Dockers, Amos, Voss, Tracy to start with.
Uh-huh.
I think the Dockers are the team in form right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I would take them just above those other three.
Okay. Okay. I initially had the Dockers listed here until I went ahead and did a little bit more digging, and then I decided to incorporate the Dockers elsewhere on my list
Right?
since we're not having any repeats. So you are sitting down, are you not?
Oh, hang on, we're not allowed to repeat.
No, no.
Why
Yeah.
can't I have the Dockers as mids or defenders?
Oh, I guess you can if you want to. I didn't repeat. You
Okay,
could,
I didn't
yeah,
see that in your notes,
yeah.
but okay, all right.
If you want to go ahead and become a Doctor supporter today, you can go ahead and officially do that and get some purple gear.
Well, I hate their stupid looking jerseys. Their old jerseys were great.
So,
All right, here we go. Who you got for
okay.
the forwards?
Well, I took your Adelaide Crows for
Oh,
my group of forwards.
no.
I did.
Are you serious?
I did, yes.
Oh, too inconsistent, mate.
Well,
Too inconsistent.
here's the thing. With the other groups that I have with them, I think it's going to work out just fine.
All right, all
Yeah.
right. Well, we know I'm a bit harsh on the Crows,
Yes.
and
Yeah. I mean, yes, Taylor Walker's getting up there in age, but Rochelle and Rankin are both very solid smalls. Ben Keys is very solid. I know he doesn't get a lot of love.
yes,
And I know you hate Darcy Fogarty. I know you can't stand Fogarty. You're not a fan
I
of
don't
his.
hate anyone, but
Well, but you're not a
I
big
don't
fan of his.
rate
You're
him.
not a big fan of his game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Thilthorpe, the mountain man is just, is I'm surprised, since they call, they've given, Walker the nickname Tex. I'm surprised. Yeah, as I was mentioning there, that Walker's been given this nickname as Tex Walker because I guess he kind of looks like a cowboy. Why haven't we seen Riley Thilthorpe, develop the name like, Grizzly Thilthorpe, like Grizzly Adams or something like that? Because he looks like a guy that would be living off the land up in the mountains kind of thing, with
Yeah,
the scruffy
yeah.
beard there. Yeah. So, yeah, I just I think the options there are very good, in the present. The Hawthorne one, I agree with you in many ways, but I guess part of me is looking at it, and the Walker thing kind of defeats the purpose. Is, if you were going to have your club going into the future, how many more years does Tex Walker have left? How many more years does Jack Gunston have left? I think Fremantle is a great choice there. And they would have,
Right, but so this is right now, right, though?
yeah,
You said,
yeah. Like for right now, if I
okay.
was putting a club together for 2026, if I could, make an amalgamation of three different clubs there. Yep. So
All right.
for the midfield, if healthy, I wanted to go with, I thought about Gold Coast, but Gold Coast has been so underperforming,
Yeah,
and I know we talked about this earlier in the year that that this is a club that had, I joked that they're going to need more than one football on the ground for that midfield. Um, I went with Sydney for their midfield.
okay.
And I just think that that's is a really hard-nosed group of players, and when everybody's healthy, when Golden's out there, I don't know if there's anybody can really compare to them. So who do you have for your midfielders?
Well, I'll give you my second choice. Dockers, Jackson, Sarong, Bolton, Brayshaw. Woo,
Okay,
that's four beauties.
that's a good one.
But I'm with you. I can show it right there. I went the Swans as well.
There you
Grundy,
go.
Warner, Heaney, Rowbottom.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I went with the Swans, so we agree on that one.
yep. Okay, how about your defenders?
Defenders was kind of easy for me, I think.
Hmm.
I went for Dockers again. Cox, Pierce, Chapman, Clark,
Yep,
Ryan.
yep.
Yeah, I
I
think
didn't,
Dockers was the pretty much the easiest choice of the three there.
and that's where I plugged in Fremantle on my list, was in the
Okay.
defensive structure there, because through round 14 they had given up. Uh, I saw the numbers here. Through round 14, they had given up an average of 63 points a game. I
Right.
mean, by like 200 points less than anybody else through round 14. They'd given up.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. I mean, and as you said, they are definitely they're the cream of the crop this year, and I'm not going to be surprised if this club wins the premiership.
Yeah.
And I think I had them in the grand final this year, if I'm not mistaken, in my
Yes.
tips at the beginning of the year. I think I had them in the
Yeah.
grand final.
All right. Well, according to your rules, I didn't know if I can't have the Dockers twice, I will go with just for if they get Stengel back. I'm a big Jeremy Cameron fan.
Hmm.
Put Dangerfield in the forward lines. I'd say the Cats. There you go.
Okay. And Shannon Neal started to, I might have had them maybe third or fourth on there, but yeah,
Right.
I think that'd be a good. Cameron has just not looked right for most of this year.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, that was
looked,
probably a bit of a pick of if everyone was fit and firing.
yeah, he just looks a little uncomfortable, and I'm not sure um what exact. I don't know if it's the arm or if there's something else that's going on, but I'm not really sure there. Yeah, so um are there if we move into our next section here, and I added this morning here, so we have our coaches under the blowtorch section. Who's in trouble? And I had a friend reach out this morning who's a supporter of a club that played overnight, and I did watch this game. I listened to the first quarter of it on the radio while I was closing out my stuff at work last night. And then I watched it when I got home. The North Melbourne and Richmond game, which I know you stayed up for.
Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I would rather watch anything. Not really, but I'd still rather watch that game than a full soccer game. But
Yeah,
yeah, nah,
yeah. Well,
nah,
this
Richmond and North
this
Melbourne, you must have nothing else to do, which I know is not true.
it's how I decompress at the end of the evening. Yes, when I got
Oh,
home. But
wow.
but my friend Peter is a mad Tiger supporter. He was at the game, and he said something to me on Messenger this morning that I wanted to add in here, where he said he's 100% convinced that it's Adam Uze who's holding this club back. He's thinking it's an awful lot like Michael Voss at Carlton, that there's more talent on this club than the club has been able to show, and he thinks that Uze is maybe the governor, like you would have on an engine that limits like the petrol flow into the engine to keep it from going in, like a lawnmower engine would have a governor, or a motorized bicycle would have a governor on it to prevent how much petrol gets into the engine to limit the speed on it.
Of course.
Yeah, so he's basically arguing there that that it's again going swinging the ball backwards, chipping it from boundary line, and then just bombing it into the forwards' heads. He's really frustrated with it, and he thinks that Adam Uze might be on his way out at the end of this year.
Interesting. Well, I don't think there'll be any more coaching changes, but I'm just absolutely shocked that Carlton have won five in a row. That's just unbelievable, really, when you think of it.
Yeah, well,
So,
and they've beaten some decent clubs, and I'm including my Cats as a decent club in that situation there. Although,
yeah.
they've dropped some games that that you look at and you go, how did they lose, against Club A or Club B here? I mean, because they had like I think 3 games they lost by a total of like 9 points. So I guess it's not the end of the world, and I don't think they're worried about it necessarily. But yeah, it's been an interesting slog for them. But yeah, I see all the young kids that Richmond has brought in, and there are still some talented veterans there. And I don't know if they're just there now collecting a paycheck until they can maybe find their way onto a list that might be more closely aligned towards, getting into the finals than Richmond certainly is at this point in time, or if they're realizing, okay, the end is near for us and we're just gonna, ride this out and go on off to the pasture land after that.
Well, again, in their best players, you got Taranto, Bolter, the Basher, and Short. So
Hmm.
they are performing, but
Yeah, yeah.
I did read while on this topic, I did just read that Luke Beveridge wants the draft age to go up to 19. And I agree with that because we see it with these crappy teams,
Hmm.
few injuries, and you got all these kids playing that don't even deserve a game. It's not their fault.
Right,
It's just
right.
the stupid bloody system. And how many times have we said it? So many players out there in the other leagues trying to get a crack. But no, the clubs just have to think that they can rebuild with 18, 19-year-olds and how often does it work? Not very often.
Well, yeah, yeah, I know, yeah, and as you said, we've talked about this about, how the clubs like Richmond, like West Coast had done for years, like North Melbourne had done for many years, where they're bringing in this huge number of 18-year-old kids onto their list and basically foisting them on the AFL when physically their bodies
Of
may not
course.
be ready for the
Of
wear and tear
course.
of just getting the ever loving shit beat out of them week in and week out.
Well, that's why I don't watch those games where you do.
Yeah,
I won't watch them.
yeah.
I mean, the Saints and the Dogs are on just now. I
Hmm.
record it. I'll watch a bit of that later. But Richmond and North, and oh my God.
Well,
Teams, some of the team bombers, some of the teams are so bad.
I
So bad, and not much personality as well.
I don't want to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. But the end of the first quarter of the Richmond North Melbourne game,
One goal, two each.
it was 8-8.
So well, there you go. And look where they kicked. I got it written down. 6 goal 12. The Tigers kicked to 10 goals 13. And you spend 3 hours watching that crap.
Well, I was able to fast forward through halftime a little bit too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so
Wow. See, I was starting off calm, and now you got me all fired up again with these crap teams. Well, I got the ladder here. I got it written down. Bombers, Tigers, Eagles, bottom three, just disgraceful. Eagles show a little bit. Port Adelaide, fourth bottom, they're no good. Carlton, one game out of the 10. There we go.
and the Cats have lost to both Port Adelaide and Carlton this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Hey, you guys will be all right.
I hope so. Yep, I hope
All
so.
right,
So
what's next?
okay, so a couple other things I pulled off social media this week. Um, a buddy of mine, Lee, who's here in the United States, who's a mad Docker supporter, um, said it's strange that this season I seem to have very little concern over the outcome of the other games during the round. I guess it's the luxury of being on top. It doesn't matter what others do if your side is taking care of business, which is I thought a really great take. If you keep winning, because again they've won what 13 games in a row I think now, the
Yeah, but that's a
Dockers.
bit arrogant too, though, because they can falter down the end of the near the end, and then the playoffs, the finals. I'm still not convinced of them, but they
That's
get top and get those 2 games in Perth. Well,
right.
that's a huge advantage.
How'd that work out for the Crows last year?
Oh, wow. Our coach is still mid-range, if you ask me.
No, I'm gonna as this is a question without warning. I think that's the correct phraseology. Um, if you were to replace Matthew Nix. Who would you make if it was up to you and you said, okay, Nix is going to be gone? Who would you bring in as the senior coach for the Crows at this point in time to get them across the finish line?
Oh, he's old, but I'd still bring him in, Malcolm Blight.
Okay, okay. Now,
He's a legend. He's getting old though, but hell, he's a very smart guy. Very tough
mhm,
taskmaster at times. Well, while we're on this, he actually, the great Tony Modra had a bit of a fallout with him and
yeah,
got traded to the Dockers. And unfortunately, Tony Modra was in a bad car crash this week.
hmm
I think he's okay here. Down near where my parents live, just a few miles away, a tree fell on his truck as he
Oh
was driving
wow.
along in his cattle truck. And Mum just said it was just a freak accident because it
hmm
was very windy down there. And the tree just fell through his through his windshield. He had major operations on his face, but apparently he was walking around outside of the truck, and then a lady pulled over and found him.
Yeah.
So after that, they it sounds like they put him in a self-induced coma because he
Okay.
was in a coma for 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
So let's hope he doesn't have brain damage, of course. But my mum knows his wife a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, I had a good chat to them last night because it's a beautiful part of the world down there, Victor
Yeah.
Harbour, and he's owned a bit of land and that down there for probably 20 odd years. But look his highlights. You want to talk highlights of a full forward? Tony Modra in his day at the Crows was up there with the very best of all time.
Now, let me ask you this again, not being involved with the game other than doing the podcast here. How and I guess with a game that is as fast paced and as free flowing as footy is, how much and I'm not saying that they don't because I'm asking because I'm curious, how much impact can a coach actually have during the course of a game that's actually going on because it is so free flowing. I mean, we see all the cutaways to Sam Mitchell just screaming into his telephone, "Fire the fucking missiles already!" or whatever the hell he's saying into his phone. We see that look on him all the time on the phone, and how much impact do you think they actually are able to make during the actual gameplay? Because I know it gets transferred down to the bench, but can they really do anything, or is it more? Is it more of a Hollywood effect, just getting the camera shot of them in there? Because you see people like Chris Scott who's just sitting up there going like, "Yep, I just got a 14% return on that investment," and it's like he doesn't get phased at all. But then you see these other guys that are just so bent out of shape.
Yeah, well, during the quarter, because I think you're gonna love this. In some ways, they're a detriment.
Uh huh.
And the reason I say that is how often do we see a guy kick a goal and then come off through interchange? That's just being detrimental to the player. You kick one goal, you're dying for the ball to come straight back
Yeah.
down so you can get two in a row. And then you think, okay, I'm on fire here. I'm going to get three in a row. And sometimes you see it. Then
hmm
other times you see the players gets taken off straight after kicking a goal. So I'll say they're detrimental during the quarter. Obviously, at the quarter time, half time, 3/4 time break,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
where they have their big
Yeah.
influence because there's no runners these days, is there? You're not allowed a runner on to take
I,
messages out like they used
I've
to.
not seen I mean, I've seen like the medical people that are out there, like the trainers go out, but I don't think there's actually people on the ground during the gameplay yet anymore.
No, there
I
used
think
to
they're
be
all
a
going,
runner
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. You
I
could take messages out every
right, right.
all the time, but didn't that change?
I think it did a few years ago because they
Yeah.
had because if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have like runners like on kind of each corner of the oval where they could kind of come out to one section or that sort?
No, well, not that I know of, but back until a few years ago, they'd always just have one runner,
Okay,
and you could run out and give that message
right,
direct from
right.
the coach to the
Yeah.
player. I mean, I'm sure some of the water people might still be able to do it on the side on the slide, but yeah, during the quarter, not much influence at
Yeah.
all. It's mostly do the captain and vice captain would have huge say
Yeah,
as
I would,
the
yeah.
game is played.
And that is something I'm curious about. But it's, yeah, I just, popped into my head. And I thought, you know so much more about this than I do. So that's why I wanted to ask you about that. So, um, now I'm going to skip one of the pieces that I saw on here, and they may still be all right before it's all said and done. But a buddy of mine down in Geelong, he said, I'm old enough to remember in 2026 after the stupid opening round, the AFL media had Gold Coast as premiership favorites. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, which they're now sitting at 7-7, and I think there might be 7-8 after this week because I think they go to Fremantle this week. If I'm not, don't they play? I think they play Fremantle this week, don't they? I think we're tipping that one here in a
yes,
minute.
yes, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
now them being up, who in the hell put them as favourites for the premiership? That's just stupidity.
well, I mean, they were they were kind of like the cool kids in the room now at that point in
Yeah, no,
time.
that's crap. That's
You know,
crap.
Petrarca's in there, and they're ready to roll then. And then somebody, and this will be the last one of these, and we'll jump into the tips here. Um, uh, Guy by the name of Peter Katsambanis on X said, when will the AFL finally admit that their venture into Western Sydney is a complete failure? And we've talked about this, how they had very few kids involved in actually playing the game at like the grassroots level in that part of Sydney. They should stop pouring millions down the drain and apply that money to support struggling metro and country footy clubs, the ones who actually keep the game alive at the grassroots level.
Yep, absolutely. Massive, massive mistake. I could not understand it at all from
Mhm.
afar when they bought in GWS. Yeah, sure, their philosophy of so many people living in that part of the world, but when it's all rugby country, absolutely disgraceful. But of course, the big bosses in the AFL and like many other organizations, they will not admit when they're wrong.
Yeah.
And if they finally do, they did it 5, 10, 20 years too late and millions of dollars wasted. So totally agree.
Now,
Absolutely disgraceful. What's it? 12,000 people go, 10, maybe less if they rig the ticket numbers. Who knows?
yeah, and I want to say this out front. I'm not advocating for this, but we've talked many times about where would the league put a 20th club because having 19 teams in the league is awkward. You see how it works with your CFL with an odd numbered group of clubs. But do you think they would ever consider contracting a team? I mean, I know they've merged clubs together, but do you think that they would just admit that mistake you said they have a hard time admitting and just say, this has not worked. We're going to go ahead and end this right now and just basically instead of like relocating GWS and keeping 19 clubs. And again, I'm not advocating this. I'm asking because I'm curious. And if you're a GWS supporter, I'm really not trying to piss you off here. Mainly for you,
Oh,
Rick. But do you think they'd ever just say we screwed up? This experiment needs to end, and this guy Peter is right that we need to make sure that we've got the players coming into this game to keep the game afloat rather than trying to keep a game afloat where people just really don't have much interest.
Oh, there's three things that are key to me from afar.
Hmm.
Now, Aussies listening that are so mad and fanatical like you that think that this is the greatest game ever. Well, I used to think it was. Yes, don't have 19 teams, but you know why they do it and you know why they want the 20th because of TV rights and money. But there is that one solution that we've talked about. Bring in more 22, 23, 24, even 25 and 26 year olds.
Hmm.
Honestly, I would love to coach and do that. Have two of the best 18-year olds and put the others that are that age that I just mentioned. Because yes, it's look at the teams at the bottom right now. Who
Yeah,
would watch all that other than you?
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, well, and that's the thing is that the MCG, the Port Adelaide and Collingwood game had 40 little under 41,000 people at the game, and somebody posted on there 40,000 on a Saturday night at the G. Move that small club to Marvel immediately.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, there we go again, eh? All the bloody Collingwood favoritism, favoritism. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
All right, let's jump into our tips here, sir, because we've gone on to a couple of tangents here, so we need to get into these. We may scrap our slang terms for this week here. So, all right.
Oh, we can rip through these if you want, especially the crap games.
Okay. So Thursday night, Brisbane is hosting Sydney at the Gabba. Um, the Lions have got the Swans and the Cats the next 2 weeks. I think this 2 weeks are gonna determine whether or not Brisbane is going to survive um, and keep a spot in the top six or get into the top six. What are you thinking on this one?
Well, I looked at the odds and I wasn't sure, and the Lions are favoured by 1.5. That's because it's at the Gabba.
Right.
Look, I don't go for many upsets, and I really wasn't sure on this one, but I just think the Swans are a better informed team at the moment. The Lions have had a few good weeks. Both teams offer bye, so they should be fresher. So I will take the Swans actually, and the Lions have been gettable at home this year.
Yep. I'm going with the Swans on this one as well. I just,
Oh wow,
yeah,
good. My
I think
feel
that,
more confident now.
I think that, that the Lions have just looked out of sync this year. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a double premiership hangover. I don't know how much of it and influence the possibilities of Zach Bailey and Lockie Neal leaving the club at the end of the season are impacting the change rooms. I don't know, but you know, good clubs tend to get players poached from them to go to lesser clubs or to other clubs for either more money or more opportunities for playing time. Um, and it happens with coaches as well. We talked about how a lot of coaches have come out of the of different coaching trees, if you will. So yeah, I'm going with them. So Friday night footy at Marvel. I think this is a compelling game, and yes, I am going to be watching this one on Friday morning before I go to work. But Carlton is hosting West Coast. The Blues have won five in a row. Their percentage is awful, though. I mean, it's like 20 percentage points lower than, or 10 percentage points lower than the Giants who are ahead of them. So the Blues are still sitting at 6 and 8 in the 14th spot, but they are, I mean, they are 8 points out of the 10th spot where the Roos are right now. They're a game behind. They're 2 points behind the Magpies, who are 11th. I mean, there's a bottleneck there, which is what the league wanted. They wanted competitive, important in quotes games going into those last few weeks, hopefully with the wild card where things are going to be jumping around on the ladder there. I'm going on with Carlton to win this one. They're playing well. I mean, the Eagles have played some decent football, but again, this is again one of those clubs that are still the players are growing into themselves here. So I'm going with the Carlton Blues to win this one.
Well, I had Blues to win by 24, and they're favoured by 31.5. Eagles off a bye. They might be fresh, but I don't know. In the past, this is the sort of game that the Blues players get a bit arrogant when they're not that good. So maybe a letdown game, but no, I'll take the Blues to win, but the Eagles to cover.
Okay. And then we're going to get to one of those games where I'm just going to admit it right now. I'm being stubborn here. Collingwood hosting Richmond back at the MCG. I'm
Hang on,
stick.
you've thrown me off. You've missed the game. Hawks and Giants.
Oh, I just had them reversed. I'm sorry. Well, let's do Hawks and Giants first then, okay? That one's also at the MCG. I think Collingwood's the day game, and then Hawthorne's the night game there. I think that day.
I got the Giants Hawks game is listed at Friday 3:40 my time, so that's
Oh,
before the Blues Eagles.
oh, that's my screw up then. Okay, so yeah, I'm going with Hawthorne to win this one. I think they're an informed side. They played a very good game this past week without Jack Gunston. So I think it leads us to believe that when he does come back in the side from that mid-foot injury, he's gonna, they're gonna be even better then. Um, what are you thinking on this one?
I had the Hawks by 10, but they're actually bigger favorites than that, 21.5. Great win up there in the Gold Coast because we were both sort of not sure who to pick on that one, even though we
Hmm.
both did go for the Hawks. Giants are a bit disappointing, aren't they? Especially losing to the Blues, but
Yeah.
I see my favorite name. Stormy Daniels kicked the goal and got in the best players, so
Yep.
she's doing all right. And Clayton Oliver again, second best, and Callahan, they reckon he's going to be a star. So Giants underperforming, might be close. I'll take the Giants to cover, but the Hawks to win at the MCG.
Okay. Now we're back to Collingwood and Richmond here. And as I said, I'm being stubborn here. Call me pig-headed if you will. The Richmond Tigers will beat the Collingwood Magpies because I'm being a butthead about this, okay?
Good.
Maybe I'm becoming an ass about it because Collingwood, I'm still frustrated with how you handled things this year. Tigers by 8.
Good. I hope you're right. Although I don't like either team. Look, I even watched a bit of the Dobbers and the Pap smears, eh? That was on TSN, so I watched a bit of that.
Hmm.
Oh, even though I felt like being sick watching the Dobbers and that other mob. To go, he's in form. You got to hand that to him. He's got his life back together and kept out of trouble in New York nightclubs lately. So I will take the Dob and Swooping Bastards to win. I said, what did I say? 42. They're favored by 36 and a half.
Okay. We've got one of those games that we really don't have to spend a lot of time on, or you're not going to want to spend a lot of time on. North Melbourne hosting Essendon at Marvel. What are you thinking on this one, sir?
Oh, you've mucked my order up again. Um,
Sorry.
you missed the Crows and Pap smears.
Well, I mean, I've got them, and let's get this
You
one out of the
mucked
way.
up the order. All good. I know you're thinking of Australia. Are you thinking of Australia too much when you're writing down the order of these games?
Well,
So,
I just went by the order that they were on the Footy Wire website.
oh, you got to use
Yeah, I
AFL.com
know.
then. No, we'll go through Saturday, 3:35 a.m. my time is Crows and Pap smears, and Saturday night is the Roos Bombers.
Okie doke.
Which one do you want to do?
Well, let's do North Melbourne and Essendon right now and get that one out of
All
the way
right.
then. Yep.
Oh, look. What's the story here? Roos are favored by 15 and a half. I said six, probably a bit more. Bombers are terrible. Good to see Parker and the best players again. He's a beauty down there in that back line for the
Hmm.
Roos. She's all playing well again. Trenbar, 4 goals. Don't know much
Oh,
about him and best player. So,
yeah.
yeah, they had a good win over the Tigers. Roos to win. Maybe the Bombers get closer than 15 and a half.
Okay. And Trembath is a guy that I had brought in during a bye week on my fantasy team, and I just dropped him this past week. I could have used him. It would have been nice to
Oh,
have.
no.
But I'm going. This is my upset of the week. I'm going with the Bombers to win this one because I think
Oh,
that
you got off your favorite boys, eh?
the Roos have won two. They've won two games in a row now, and they're gonna start thinking to themselves, we're back, baby, we're back, and we're playing Essendon, and Essendon's gonna sneak up and kick him right in the pouch.
But you got Clarko. Clarko, you got Clarko.
I know, I know.
Makes me
Yep.
laugh when they say Clarko.
So now based upon my list, now we have the um, Port Adelaide and Adelaide game back at the Adelaide Oval, and I know this is one you will be watching.
Whoa, Port Adelaide, Radagalier, he went down
Oh
pretty
gosh,
bad with
yeah,
that knee, your former Cats guy, and
yeah,
Lukosius calf muscle. God, he's injury prone, that guy.
yeah,
Horn Francis and Alir continue to play well, and Butters, of course. Look, these games are always close, but maybe not this week. Crows are favoured by 18 and a half. I said 20, so I'll take the Crows to win and cover, mainly because of those injuries. I think it might be a bit more one-sided than normal. But yeah, Crows are looking good. And big Mark Keane, first game back, I believe, best player, the big Irishman.
yeah,
And of course, Barry continues on Dawson as well. Even Dad said Borlay's played well, and he hasn't been much of a fan of him. So Crows are looking good. Miller and Rochelle. Rochelle, very consistent year, and Miller has had a great year. All Australian, if you ask me.
yeah. Speaking of Malera, I think there's a marketing campaign that the Crows have missed out on with Phil Thorpe and him. There's got to be something they could do. I mean, could they be like the bearded? And we talked about the Grizzly Adams kind of thing. Could they be the bearded dragons or something like that, or something? I mean, I think there's a marketing opportunity there that they've missed out on that those guys can make a few bucks
Yeah.
for that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going with the Crows to win this one as well. Yeah, Lukosius is going to be, as you said, he's got the patella or the injury as well. But yeah, the patella tendon for Radaglia is not good, and he's not going to be back for, as they said, at least a year. Um,
Wow.
it's gonna, so we won't see him till the tail end of 2027 at that point in time. Then, so the last game of the weekend, um, Fremantle hosting Gold Coast out at Optus Stadium. I think the Suns continue to set, and I'm going with the Dockers to win this one by about 20 points. He's
What's wrong with Damien Hardwick? He's a bit angry lately. What's he got? Women trouble again?
uh,
He's a beauty though. He's definitely entertaining. I'll give him that. Oh, look, the Suns have been disappointing, haven't they? Dockers are on fire.
what?
Jackson Best again. Wouldn't you like to see a big ruckman
Oh,
win a Brownlow? That would be
I would. That would be
fantastic.
awesome. And
Yeah.
you know, we talked about a minute ago about Brisbane and the player movement rumors that are going on. The same thing is happening at Gold Coast right now.
With who?
Ben King,
Yes.
the other
The forward, the young
Jed Walters,
forward.
Jed Walters.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's talk about where are these guys going to be next year, and I just I don't know how much of a distraction that would be for
Nah, it
for the
shouldn't be.
players.
No, players don't worry about that.
Well,
Seriously.
because somebody said that Zach Butters, Port Adelaide, they were speculating, the Port Adelaide players looking around going, is Zach Butters going to go hard after the ball? Because we all know he's not going to be here next year. Is he going to risk?
Yeah, that's a bit different with a star like him, but some of these other ones that are not major stars, I don't think it matters to the
Yeah.
players that much. They're professional in that way. They wouldn't have let it affect them too much.
Okay.
But then again, Butters, he still goes so hard. I don't think players would doubt him at all because he's the type of player that obviously he's a team guy, but I'm sure he'd love to win a Brownlow. Absolutely, he would.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, are you going with Fremantle on this one?
Yeah, they're favored by 26 and a half. I said 24 over there in Perth. But you never know. They could have a letdown game. Football's such a psychological game,
Hmm.
physical and mental. So you don't know about that.
Yep.
But the players are looking very good, aren't they?
Yep. Okay. So we've got a couple minutes left before we wrap up here. So I know we're going to talk a little cricket here in a moment. We are going to get to your five terms for this week. So here's your first one for this week. What is a tip slinger? A tip slinger.
A tip slinger.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but I'd just say you'd be at the bar. Oh, hang on, I'll give a Canadian version in a minute. Oh, I would say you're at a bar and well, no, it's not that because Australia we don't tip. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you've just been doing it. One who makes a business of furnishing tips as in use for betting or speculation.
Oh, okay, a tip slinger.
Slinger, yeah, yeah.
Ah, all right. Well,
Yep.
I'll give you a Canadian version. And I'll give you an Alberta version.
Hmm.
Guys, you'll love this. It's not good actually. At the strip bars, the peeler bars, the ballet, they throw coins at the strippers. They throw coins. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah, they say they throw coins instead of dollar notes and that, which we don't have. We have $5 notes here. They throw coins like dollar and loony and toonies at the strippers.
That sounds rather loony.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I think it's weird. It's a bit of an Alberta thing.
Okay.
So that's a tip slinger,
Mhm.
Canadian Alberta version.
Okay. Well, all right. All right. So the second one, too much of what the cat licks itself with. Too much of what the cat licks itself with.
I don't know that one either. Too much. I have no idea on that one. Too much drinking beer?
Very talkative, too much tongue. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, yeah. And people get like that as they get older, don't they?
Yep.
You
Okay.
know what really annoys me? What really annoys me with old people?
Hey
And it
now.
happens. It happens. It's like I start a conversation within 5 seconds, they have to bloody interrupt. Like, just give me 10 or 15 seconds before you damn well interrupt, will you?
Hey. We only have so many seconds left in our lives. We got to get our words in when we can. Okay. Which leads us to our third one. Wouldn't be dead for quids. Wouldn't be dead for quids.
Yeah, that's a common one. Basically, you enjoying life.
Exactly. To be very happy and well. Yep. Having too
Yeah.
much fun. Yep. Okay. What is a Yankee shout? A Yankee shout.
Do Yankee like America?
Well, yeah, it says a Yankee shout. Yeah.
It's gonna be you buying beers for everyone in Australia.
Well, that ain't hap. That's not happening. I can tell you that right now. Since I may try one beer while I'm there, but since I'm really not much of a drinker.
I think you might have. I think you might have to buy a meal for that lovely man that's letting you stay in his house.
Absolutely, yes.
There you
You're absolutely right about that.
go.
Yes.
A
Yep.
Yankee shout. Well, there you
Uh-huh.
go. There's a meal for Peter Taylor. There we go.
Well, it's a social outing where each person pays their own way.
Oh, that's the way it should be.
Okay. So yeah.
Well, except for with your lady, right?
Yeah. There you go. Yep. Yep. All right. The last one, and you may get this one. To have a Winfield. To have a Winfield.
I only understand that because I'm getting older too. Have a cigarette, a Winfield cigarette.
Yep. To wait a minute or two for something to happen. Yes. And it's referencing, the to have a cigarette, and by the moment the time it's finished, the time will be up. So Winfield was a
Right,
cigarette
okay.
brand. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay,
That's
right.
exactly where it is. Yep. So what is happening with cricket up in Canada? So you said you had a little bit of an update for us there, sir.
Oh, I won't be too long because I'm absolutely disgusted, to be honest. Cricket Canada lose all that money, and these guys at these different provincial and city leagues, they continue to screw up. They continue to make stupid mistakes when the whole of Canada is watching. Even the world is watching, and these officials continue to break rules and F up. And last week, Edmonton did beat Calgary. And this week, the president of Calgary wrote on a Facebook Davisha's post all the stories of how they should have been allowed back in the ACA and they were not.
Hmm.
And thus, Calgary did not bring the best team. Now, the guys in the Edmonton team are fantastic. The coach is fantastic. So you can only beat who you play.
Hmm.
But I think it's the officials here that wanted their little trophy presentation. They're handing out their awards to each other. But during the speech, the president was saying, this is what he said, mate. Give me 10 seconds. He said there's been a lot of lies and innuendo online about us, ACA, and Cricket Canada the last 9 months. They're not true. Don't listen to them. And as he was saying that, he was staring right at me because I was standing in amongst the players. And I'm just laughing under my breath. It's no lie that
Wow.
Cricket Canada lost $3.6 million dollars from the ICC.
Hmm.
It's no lie that half of the board is gone. The whole board should be gone. And then he turns around and he says to everyone that's standing up with him, we are a team. And I'm nearly laughing so loud under my breath because I know they're not a team. He was fighting with Gurdeep Clare for the last 9 months up until 2 weeks ago when they did a deal. So they're backstabbers. It's an absolute disgrace, mate. And I'm just going to take a little bit of back seat for a while. I've done everything possible to spread the news of the corruption. Now they can do what they want with it. So let's hope the board, the other members and the teams vote some of these clowns out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went on a bit too long, but
That's okay because this is
I got sick this week from the in the stomach from all of this crap that's going on, and they
yeah.
continue to F up.
Well, and it's frustrating that these people are just being they're being so power mad, um, and that they think that they're above reproach, that they can
Ugh,
do no wrong and that they've done nothing wrong.
I've got it. I've no, I better not say this.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna right now at this stage I'll just write one or two reports a week of the best players and
Yeah.
keep out of the because I've done everything I can for these clowns to be voted out and it might happen pretty soon, hopefully.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, because you want to just get back to where it's just about the game and rather than the bullshit that's going on behind the scenes.
Oh, they've ruined it. The world is watching. The world is looking, and a game got cancelled again in Toronto because the pitch wasn't up to standards. It's an absolute joke. Because these guys get on these committees and then they change the rules that it's even harder for them to be voted out. It's a disgrace. I know why the president was mad at me. I have him rattled, mate. I have him so rattled
Hmm.
because I sent an email to the ACA, the Alberta Cricket Association, and it was truthful, but a little bit like, really, what the F is going on? You guys are a disgraceful organization the last 8 years.
Right. Right. And that I think that's powerful that you've done that.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
and I posted it on Friday. 2 weeks later, I did not get a reply from him, so I posted that email, and I can rightly do that because that is my email that
Hmm.
I sent.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got me
Absolutely.
fired up now, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break.
Hey,
I don't know if God or Jesus or whoever you want to say controls weather, but sometimes I think that he does or what does because it's been raining here nearly every night and it's fine during the day. Then it comes in rain at 5 o'clock at night and the games have got cancelled. Yet last weekend it was beautiful weather. It's raining all weekend. It's ridiculous what's going on with this rain.
well, do you feel as though you have absolutely done the right thing by exposing this?
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
CBC, the national TV, has done it.
Yeah.
And this guy in Toronto, Devish, who was on that TV show,
Hmm.
he has been doing it for 5, 6, or 7 years or
Yeah.
more. And we've only been involved for the last year and a half on this bad type of corruption. Because when I started Edmonton Cricket TV, I was just to call out the minor issues like the sprinklers going on when they shouldn't, or the shitty cricket balls they're using. But the last year and a half has been insane. And we've started calling them out for a year and a half on the bad issues. But then Philip Hicks gave Cricket Canada crap 3.5 years ago. They did a big meeting here, and he says, "Oh, why would they spend 100 grand on a big meeting here in Edmonton? Do a Zoom call." And I said, "Oh, you're a bit harsh on Cricket Canada." He goes, "No, I'm not," and he was dead right.
Have you followed up with him at all, or is that somebody you could reach out to?
Oh yeah, we still chat, but he's pretty disgusted with it, and he poured a lot of money into paying me and the signage and
Hmm.
everything. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, good deal. Well, where can people find your work that you've been doing on
Oh, I
this and
thought
everything
we
else?
weren't going to talk long about that. Well, you got me fired up, mate.
Hey,
Vent your rage, as Gabe used to say. Well, I
we
just did it.
we got your cardio out of the way for the day.
Oh, it's disgraceful, serious. And they continue to muck up. That's the thing that's really getting to me. After getting called out online when I got 30,000 people read my one post.
Hmm.
Devish gets lots of views. CBC's a national network, maybe the most popular news at night. And these clowns still continue to break rules and F up.
Yeah,
Okay, Facebook Edmonton Cricket TV is fire, on fire. And mykaussie.tv/AFL and cricket are the updated ones at the moment.
outstanding, outstanding.
CFL can still go and get stuffed at the moment too. Crowds are crap. It rained all day yesterday. Would have been the worst Elks crowd Eskimos in the history of their 100 plus years. It
Yeah.
rained all day. That didn't help.
Well, and because are we in the preseason right now, or is the regular season started?
Oh no, regular season. Yeah, it was their home
Okay.
opener yesterday at two
Okay.
o'clock. I had no intention of going. I'm only going to the good games this year. I told you that. And I'm sticking by my guns because ridiculously 8 and 9 teams are making the playoffs as of next year. How
Yeah.
woke pathetic is that? Yeah, the big boss got a nice big new TV deal with TSN and also DAZN, who you know of and Aussies know of.
Yeah.
But no one cares if no one's going to the games because they're so pissed off with the rule changes. And the 8 out of 9 teams in the playoffs has sent me nearly as nuts as this cricket stuff. Whew.
I get it, ma'am. I get it.
Oh, we
Well,
went over today. My fault.
it's okay. That's okay. I'm not cutting a damn word of it, okay?
Oh, good.
That's all right. All right. Well, hey mate, I hope you have a fantastic Sunday and get that snow shovel out and go shovel some snow, some rain, get it
Oh,
out of the way.
it's been unbelievable. Last year it rained a bit more than normal in June. Well,
Yeah.
this year has just been absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to continue all this week as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
it's a
had
bit depressing to be honest. I'll admit it, mate.
well, yeah, maybe you can head to Toronto and start investigating what's going on in Toronto with cricket there.
Oh, well, that's the biggest league, isn't it? And BC, they got lots of trouble out
Hmm.
there as well, British Columbia. But that's
No,
enough. I took
I
too
don't.
much of your time on cricket, but
I
I hope
don't want
people
you.
enjoy my rage, my
I
venting.
I don't necessarily want you to go to Vancouver because it doesn't sound like it's a very safe place, and we're not going to go any further than that right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
based upon some of the things you've told me.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a beautiful place, but it's
Oh,
got a
yeah,
very
it is.
dark
Yep.
side too.
Well, I absolutely love going over to the island over to Victoria over there.
Oh yeah,
It's just beautiful over there.
yeah. That
Yeah.
reminds me, Mark Howard, the great podcaster guy and commentator in
Hmm.
Australia of cricket and AFL. he's bringing his family to Canada like next week or something. So I got to send him a message because he's friendly to me.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, maybe he and I'll just trade spots. I'll go hang out where he hangs out while he's here then in North America.
I doubt he'll be coming to Edmonton. He'll probably do the Rocky Mountains to Calgary. I say, yeah, he's a good fella. Loves his world travel.
Yep. All right, mate. Well, hey, have a fantastic Sunday, and I hope your week goes well for you.
Well, it won't be good because there's no cricket on because it's raining all day.
Well, here's no. You can go back on Willow and get caught up on all the MLC stuff that's going on.
Well, I should have driven to Calgary because Edmonton and Calgary are playing in the under 17s, and the coach is Harmon, one of my mates. So,
Yeah.
and it's been decent weather down there, so I should have gone there for the weekend.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All
Sorry
right,
about
catch
sorry
you
about
later,
committing
man.
to
I
the
took too
yepper.
much of your time at the
That's
end
okay.
there.
That's all right. Okay. Cheers.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
All right, Mick, thanks for sitting down to chat again today. We've got a couple more times that we get to do this before I leave on my trip, which is happening 3 weeks from today. I got to get my act together. Folks, if you're interested in having your local footy club getting a shout out during an upcoming episode, please feel free to reach out to me over on my socials. You can find all of those at ayankonthefooty.com. I do hope you'll get subscribed over there as well. As I mentioned, I am going to be in Victoria for 30 days coming up here I will arrive on Tuesday the 14th because I'm leaving here on Sunday the 12th. So I'll miss a Monday. Not exactly that I'm going to miss a Monday. I just won't be there for a Monday. Uh, but going to be getting to that Cats Saints game, and my son's going to be coming down there for about a week and a half as well. So we're going to do some sightseeing while we're there. I'm very much looking forward to it, hoping to meet as many of you as I possibly can while I'm there. I'm going to, you know, just be so excited about this entire thing. And in terms of the location of where I'm going to be, it's a very convenient location for the things that I'm hoping to have accomplished and be able to do while I'm on this trip. And you can find me on my socials, and many of you I'm going to want to share my WhatsApp information with so I can keep up with you on there. Um, I will be getting a plan where my cell phone will hopefully be working while I'm in Australia as well. Just picked up a new phone charger. Um, so very, very excited about the trip. Now, again, head over to my website and get subscribed there if you will, folks. Okay. Um, if you got a question you want to ask Mick and I, feel free to reach out over on my website or at ayankonthefooty@gmail.com and get subscribed over at Mick's sites as well. Mick has done a yeoman's work in trying to expose the corruption in cricket in Canada and trying to turn this into as clean a game as it can possibly be. I appreciate the kind words from each and every one of you. Look out for your friends. Check up on them. If you need to talk to somebody, reach out to them. Those phone numbers are in the show notes of every episode of the podcast. I do, as I said, appreciate the kind words from each of you. And as always, may your dribble kick never hit the post. I'll catch you later. And this has been episode 467 of the Yank on the Footy. And I'll talk to you very soon.